Good morning, everybody. So today we have a topic that I actually have not touched on much at all. Unconscious coffee, and I think it's a really great topic. We're definitely not going to make it through a whole bunch of this because this is one of those areas that you can go so deep, so quick. Hey, good morning, Addison. Good morning, Steve. And you can go so deep and so get into so many different areas. So I'm going to just kind of touch on the basis of jealousy and spiritually speaking about it, and really what it is saying to us, because jealousy is truly a beautiful sign of where we need to open, where we need to grow as individuals. It is, we look at jealousy as a sign of love in relationships. If somebody is jealous over, like if you're dating somebody or you're married to somebody, you're in a relationship with somebody, and you feel jealousy because somebody flirted with them, because they were overly nice to somebody else, whatever it is, this jealousy rises up inside of us sometimes. Or then we have other forms of jealousy. So we could be jealous over really wealthy people, jealous over somebody who has something that we really want. I used to, years ago, my neighbors, I had my eyes set on a Dodge Durango, and I wanted it in this garnet color, and I knew exactly what I wanted, totally picked out, and we really needed a family car, and we're talking like, this is when Dodge Durangos first came out, and I was in love with it, and it was the perfect family car for me, and I really wanted, like I said, that garnet red, perfect. Well, we couldn't afford to get a Dodge Durango, but that was the car that I wanted. My neighbors directly next door to us, they ended up buying a garnet Dodge Durango, and every single morning when I walked out of my house, my car was sitting in their driveway. So my energy got it on the street, but it didn't materialize into my driveway at that time. So every morning I would wake up, or I would be walking through the living room, and their car would be sitting there looking at me, and jealousy would rise up, like, oh, they have it, and it was something that I really wanted. So I had jealousy over somebody else's stuff because it was something that I really wanted, and that happens a lot. We get jealous over other people's houses, jealous over other people's success, jealous over the way what they might be doing in their life, how they might, sometimes we get jealous over, oh, well, that person's more fit than what I am, or that person's healthier than what I am, or they're always so lucky, and why am I not that lucky, and all that different stuff. Wherever jealousy comes into play in our life, it is actually a really beautiful example of telling us exactly where we're so stressed and shut down, that this is a space that we're closed and that we need to open into, that we really need to experience more of. So the gist of jealousy is not one that is saying that we feel a lot of love for somebody and that it is us, going, well, you just make me so jealous and I love you so much. No, that's actually bullshit. It's not that we are really looking at any other aspect of ourselves than where we are closed and where we are not willing to fully open and be our true authentic self. So jealousy is a sign that we are waiting for something more to make us happy, for something more to bring us joy, to bring us into a state of bliss, instead of just stepping into that state of bliss right now. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but it's what jealousy really is. It's a sign of, you could say, I was looking up different quotes, and I love David Dita, and David Dita has a quote that says, jealousy points to your false hopes of fulfillment. So that really sums it up. Of course, leave it to Dita to sum it up in about one line. All right, and there's conscious coffee. No, Jealousy points to your false hopes of fulfillment, and that's what I'm kind of talking about here, is that you're not opening up when you're feeling that jealousy. You're not fully opening up into your truth, into really being love and experiencing the moment fully. So it comes back once again to the inside game of really feeling into the moment and being present in that. If you have any sense of waiting, as though you need to wait for this future event to happen, for something more to happen, if I just wait until I have more money in the bank, then I'm going to be happy. If I wait until I have the physical body that I want, then I'm going to be happy. If I wait until I have, the perfect girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, then I'm going to be happy. Perfect house, perfect whatever. You're completely missing the gift of this present moment right now and being fully in showing up here and now. So as you're in any given moment, you're either open or you're shut. Okay. And I think last week Friday, I think that was what I was talking about, was open and shut. So this is a little bit play on that right there, of the open and shut to even more of a deeper level, but bringing in an emotion that we deal with quite often that is just showing us where we need to learn to open to love to ourselves a little bit more. So everything that we have, every experience that we have, no matter how great it is, no matter what shows up in our life, everything is threatened by loss. Everything's threatened by by it just not being there forever. There's nothing in our life that is going to remain permanent. Everything consistently changes. That's part of life. And what comes in to play is that when we're jealous, we get stuck in that feeling of that we don't have, that scarcity feeling, so that loss. So we're living the loss before it even happens, and that brings up the jealousy. And instead of just going, okay, this is what I have right now, and being very present and happy in this moment. So the trick to not being jealous is to be very present in a moment and to love every moment for what it is offering just in that moment, and not looking for it to change, because the moment is the moment. You're not going to get this moment to change, but what's going on inside your thoughts and your emotions will definitely affect the next moment and the next moment and the next moment. But this moment right here, right now, is not going to change. It is what it is. And by just opening up to that, fully opening and embracing it, you can eliminate the feeling of jealousy. That even means that if you are feeling jealous in this moment, to open up fully to the jealousy. So what do I mean by that? That means like feel into your jealousy with precision. Really, really get into what you're feeling. That is, like where is that feeling showing up in your body? Is it bringing heat up in your body? Is it a hot or cold feeling? Is there color rising up from this feeling? If you were to describe the jealousy, would you describe it with a color? Where do you feel tension holding in your body? Where is that coming into play? That's feeling in with precision. So feeling in, and good morning, Amy and Byron. Brian, where do you feel it really, closing you? And that right there is going to give you a sign as to what needs to be worked on. So look at the sensations, not necessarily the thoughts, although the thoughts play a role. When you feel into jealousy or any emotion with presence and precision, you're going after the actual sensation. So everything that's rising up. So if you, since we're talking about jealousy, you're feeling jealous, let's say you feel a real knot in your gut. That right there is probably a representation that you're having tension and insecurity around something. So, let's say that you're having tension and insecurity around, like if you're feeling insufficient in the money department. We'll just pull that one in there. So let's say you feel insufficient around money. Well, that knot is that symbol of that insufficiency. Like, oh, I just don't have enough. I just don't have enough. Well, if you relax into that knot, so basically you're just breathing into knot, you're not constricting it more. The more you apply thought that supports that knot, the more that knot is going to knot up inside of you and cause even more stress to your physical, emotional, psychological bodies, okay? Instead of just relaxing into it and going, is that true? Is this something that's, like in this moment, and you could be, well, yes, it is true because I don't have enough for this. I don't have enough for that. But you're looking at what you don't have and you're wanting more and thinking that having that more is what's going to make you happy. Having that more of anything is never going to make you happy. That's why there's so many stinking filthy rich people out there, or perfect people, you could say, in whatever category you consider perfect, that really are not happy. They're still got, all these different issues going on, and it's because they're always looking for something more to make them happy instead of stepping into that space of where they're at right now and just being happy. Hold on, made some notes over here because I am seriously not all the way awake this morning. I think I say that every single morning, though. It's pretty true. 6 a.m. Whose silly idea was this to do 6 a.m. conscious coffee? It was my idea. Oh well. I love my ideas sometimes. Can't even read my writing. The sense of waiting as if the future might offer you something more fulfilling than this moment is the essence of jealous suffering. So you're just sitting there and you're suffering in jealousy because you're just waiting. Hold on, somebody said something. I tried to turn my moments of lighter jealousy over things into seeing it as God showing me the signs that it is on its way into my life. I'm reading it again in my head so I can process the signs that it's showing in my life. If things come up, yeah, I mean, and that's actually, thank you, Addison, for sharing that, because for those who don't quite know what Addison's talking about here, it's when we're wanting something, much like my Durango story, that I really wanted this Dodge Durango for a family car, down to I knew the color, I knew the type of car I wanted, and my neighbors go and buy the exact color and type of car that I want. And I had that jealousy. It felt like torture every single day to walk outside my house and see my car sitting in somebody else's driveway. And I was just like, ugh. And I had that pit in my gut of just, ugh. But now we're talking like 25 years ago, and I was young and dumb and stupid and did not get this stuff. So I was fully into the jealousy aspect of it, to the point that I would just literally like go, I don't want to look at my neighbor's driveway. There's that biatch over there who bought my car, right? And I would say it jokingly, but there was still this like tinge of inside of me. I was actually serious. Like I was pissed that she bought my car and that I didn't have the car that I wanted, because we really needed a good family car. We had this crappy like Dodge minivan thing. Anyways, the transmission went out in like 3 times. So it was like, the suffering around my car was so much more. And then looking at that beautiful, shiny car sitting next door. But if in today's world, I would do exactly what Addison is talking about. And that is like, if I really wanted whatever car it was, and my neighbor ended up buying it, I would be like, yay, I have a representation of it every single day, like a focus point, because that means that it's coming closer to me. It's getting closer to me. This is what I'm wanting, and it's coming in. And I would start noticing that, you know, I would end up pulling up behind that car every single day when I'm at stoplights, you know, or so-and-so has that car too, and blah, 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 blah. There would all of a sudden these noticings of what I'm wanting showing up in my life a lot more from other sources. So I would take it as much like Addison's talking about, kind of like a sign that God is saying, hey, it is on its way. You just got to get in a little bit more alignment. So in today's world, I would be looking at, the me of today would be looking at, where am I not in alignment? How can I get more into alignment to this? Because it's around me. The energy's there. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. But I'm not fully in alignment to it because it's not here. The car's not in my driveway yet. Where, you know, like I have the car that I have a Tahoe, and I love my Tahoe, and, you know, I ended up driving it as a rental car while my other car was getting fixed one day. I was like, I love this car. I want this for my new family car. The seats, everybody, it's got this, it's got that, blah, 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 blah. And I just fell in love with it after about 5 days of driving it. And a week later, I owned it. It was in my driveway. Quite literally, it got delivered to my house, and it was like, bam, here you are. And the salesman who delivered it to the house, he looks at me and says, hey, I got you add-on, check out your tires. Like, look at your tires. And I'm like, oh, cool. Like, I'm a girl. I'm like, yeah, whatever. It's cool tires. Fine. Tires look good. But he was all spiffed up about the tires. So it was one of those things of, you know, like 20 years ago, here I wanted this car, and my neighbors got it, and it was torment to me. Today's world, I drive a car and I'm like, oh, this is a really great car. And a week later, it's just like, bam, everything lines up. Matter of fact, I tried to get rid of the Tahoe because the payments were like, whoo, high on the Tahoe. I'm like, this is not that great of a deal. And they ended up reworking the whole deal for me and making it where I got in at the stupid price, which was amazing. And I'm like, no, you can take the car back. Like, I don't really need it. It's fine. I love it, but I don't need it for, you know, like I'll keep what I got type thing. I'm happy where I'm at. And that's the gist of this, is that if you can be happy where you're at, then the things that you want will come to you so much easier and quicker, quite like me with the Tahoe, is that it just showed up quite literally very easily. And even when I was like, oh, my desire to have it was high, my belief that I could have it was just as high, but I was like, I don't need it for my happiness, which opened up the whole playing field to God making sure that the correct scenario could happen so that I could keep what I was really enjoying in my life. And instead of, you know, now I know that there's probably like 3 people on my street that own a similar car or even the same kind of car. I'm not jealous over them. Like, whatever, you know, it's like, it's not a big deal. And it wasn't even when I was looking at not having that car, there was no jealousy there, because I realized in that moment that I did not need this particular thing to make me happy or happier, more fulfilled, more content, more anything. It did nothing more for me because I was already fulfilled and open in that state. And anytime we are closing, we are restricting. And anytime we are opening, we are receiving, we are allowing. And that, I mean, to simplify it, that's quite literally it. It's either you're open or you're shut. Listen to Friday's Conscious Coffee. But it comes down to that. When you are feeling, when you are really truly, there's another quote over here someplace. Here we go. See if I can get this. This is going to be my ending quote for you guys. if the book doesn't go and try to, this book is trying to close on me. It's just David Dita, except it's a brand new David Dita book because I keep giving my books away. If you, when you are really present and focused in on precisely feeling into jealousy, into any emotion, but for this moment into jealousy itself, you're allowing yourself to open up to the jealousy, to fully receive and allow it to flood through you so that you can experience exactly where you're holding, exactly what you're using it as a reminder of what you need to work on, that empty space that is not feeling like it is adequate to have what you really truly want, which means that jealousy is also showing you where your lack of belief is. So you can have a strong desire. That desire is, it's going to be right there. When you have a strong desire, it's not going anywhere. You don't have to necessarily focus in and go, man, I got to really work on my desires a lot. No, that's not the case. The desire is what it is, and it will grow naturally. It's not going to, or it will fade naturally because you outgrow that desire. So like I outgrew the Durango, right? And moved into other things. But if you are having that desire, then what you're wanting to do is you're looking at that belief level. So if you have low belief, if you feel like you are not worthy of this desire, then that is where that jealousy is going to start to stem up, because you're feeling a lack of worthiness, a lack of, like you feel just inadequate in different ways. When we say I'm inadequate, however we term that, we're saying I'm not worthy of blah, blah, blah. I'm not worthy of that desire because I have limited belief that I deserve it. I have limited belief that I can achieve it. I have limited belief that it wants me as much as I want it. I have limited belief that God is actually going to provide it. I have limited belief that it is actually there for me. And then that jealousy really that's where jealousy just kind of uproots and takes hold. And then we start going, oh man, it's like you really want a great relationship. You want a passionate relationship. You want a turned on relationship. You want connection. You want touching. You want loving. You want romance. You want this. You want that. All this different stuff. And then you find yourself on Valentine's Day and you don't want to go outside because you're single. And there's all these people out there and they're all lovey-dovey, mushy, all this stuff. So you start to go, and then you get jealous over these people who have these passionate turned on relationships. Instead of just recognizing that this is a space that you're feeling like you can't be happy alone, you have to have somebody else to complete you. And anytime you feel like you need something or someone else to complete you, to make you full, to make you whole, you're never going to find that happiness in anybody else. Plain and simple, it's not going to happen. Just like you're not going to find your happiness in a car or a house or a bigger bank account or anything. That emptiness that you're feeling that is causing that jealousy is telling you that this right here is the sweet spot that you need to lean in and open up to with full-on love. And that means loving the number one person in your life, yourself, fully. Just fully embracing yourself for who you are, loving every little aspect about you, and just stepping in there. And the more you can do that, the more you can just open, the more fulfilled you'll be. And the more awesome shit is going to show up in your life. The relationship's going to show up. The car is going to show up. The house is going to show up. It's going to be like this magical, like, little thing that just happens, and stuff is just going to start to appear. Like, opportunity, experience will bring it to you. You'll find yourself out there in the world just enjoying your life the way it is and feeling completely happy right the way you are and with what is going on, fully embracing, fully allowing, and then stuff is just going to flow. You're going to be like, wow, I really had that desire for that, and And here it is. Bam! I didn't have to work at it. I didn't have to work at it. So looking at that right there. In other words, be jealous fully. Be jealous fully without closing off to it, so that you can fully step into seeing exactly where you need to do your work, where you need to love yourself, where you need to really tap into you at an even deeper level. And with that, it really comes down to that you have to realize that in any moment, no matter how good or bad, how pleasurable or painful the moment is, that you and only you, nobody else on the planet, can ever get you to do this. This is the inside game that I always talk about. That only you can choose to either open to it or to close to it. And your natural tendency, training, I should say, because it's not really necessarily your natural tendency, it's your natural training, because we've all been trained to close. We close off to too much pleasure. We close off to the potential of too much pleasure. We close off, and I know that might sound crazy, but think about it. Like we do, things get too good and we start to shut down because we get fearful of losing it. We get fearful of losing it. We get fearful of, if we open too much into this pleasure, what will the next result be? So we restrict our pleasure. The reverse of that is that we also restrict, we hold off, we do not allow ourselves to fully feel into pain. We don't give ourselves permission to be sad, to be angry. We don't give ourselves permission to really feel into any of our feelings 100%, because we get into this like, oh, if I go there, what does that mean? Well, if you want an abundant fuck yes life, if you want these things that you're holding right here in your desire, the only way to them is to figure out how you need to open. And using something like jealousy as, like where something comes up, that is that restriction right there, and you need to just let that shit go. Let it go and open up to it. Get in there, allow yourself to feel it. Be jealous. Be angry, be sad, be passionate, be in love, be everything that you want to be, and do it, fearlessly and fiercely and with full abandon, the best you possibly can every step of the way. And realize that you're not going to always do it, be 100%. Go as far as you can and push just a little further. As far as you can and push just a little further. It's that raggedy edge, that racing term. I love to use that racing term because it's like raggedy edge out there. And you're like, whew, on the racetrack, the racers, when they are on that raggedy edge, they can really get around the track quicker. But they're risking because it is shakier out there. There's more shit that can happen. So their adrenaline is going to kick up. And in that, they also have this opportunity to receive so much more. Well, that raggedy edge for the majority of us, because the majority of us are not NASCAR racers, the majority of us, just that raggedy edge is feeling it right here, and in our gut, in our heart, in our throats, and just go, okay, I need to open. I need to just get out of my head and into my body and open into that space the best you possibly can. Okay. And remember that any time that jealousy comes up, that it truly is the stress of being reminded that you are waiting for something more to make you happy, for something more to fulfill you, for something more to bring you joy, for something more to bring you bliss, for something more to complete you, for something more to make you, worthy, whatever it is. as long as you are really in that state, realize that you're going to, if you are always waiting, if you are always looking for something more instead of just stepping into this moment and being happy, that you're always going to feel unfulfilled. You're always going to feel unfulfilled because you're living in a state of closed. Okay? So, let me see. There was a quote, I think. Oh, yes. Keep searching for the thing until the search is exhausted, until your life feels meaningless, until you have tried and you still feel unfilled by what you have or haven't acquired. In other words, and that's Dida again talking about fulfilling and opening, because he's very big in these terms of open and closed too. This is a tantric thing, I think. Buddhist thing, Kabbalah thing, Christian thing, all talks about opening and closing. No matter what that faith is, it is opening and closing. And what Dida is saying here is to keep searching and use that jealousy, and really truly use any feeling that has you feeling clamped down, has you feeling that it just, I could use lots of different emotions here. So whatever that emotion is that has you feeling where you're like, man, I'm closed, I'm clamped, I'm shut down, I know I am, because I can't breathe fully. Like there's tension, there's this, there's that, I'm stuck here. Anything that's holding you there, those feelings are, you got to just kind of like chase after them. Go digging, search ferociously into them, because until you fully exhaust them, the exhaustion of that feeling is going to actually reveal to you, kind of like the Wizard of Oz. At the end of the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy is laying in her bed and her Auntie M is there, right? And all the people are there, and she looks around, and her final statement is, I don't have to go past my own backyard. And that own backyard is right here. Okay? That your backyard is right here. You don't have to go searching for anything. Everything you need, everything you want, you have right now in this moment. Listening to me right here, you have it with you right now in this moment. There is nothing more that you need to be happy. There is nothing more that you need to be blissful, to be joyous, to be abundant, to be worthy, to be anything. It's right here in this moment. You are 100% complete. There's no missing pieces. There's nothing that you have to go searching for. I love people are like, I'm looking for myself. Well, did you look like right here? You're right here. Stop searching for you. You're right here. You're right here. You're complete. You're perfect. You're wonderful. You are very worthy. So just the only thing you're missing is your ability to allow, because you're closed down. Whatever that is has you closed down. Breathe into it, search into it, dig into it, really fully. And those terms mean feel into those emotions fully. It's scary. Yes, it's scary as shit. Be scared. Allow yourself to feel the scared. Allow yourself to feel that fear. Feel that doubt. Feel whatever it is. Go there. Go there with complete abandonment, and just go there and open to it. And then love on it. Love on it and embrace you for you. And with that, you're going to find out that there's a hell of a lot of beautiful stuff inside of yourself, and that you can open up and love and receive and have and just be completely captivated by the magic of life, the beauty of life, because surrendering to that right there is what brings everything else into your existence. So, okay, guys, I feel kind of complete on that note. So I'm going to just tap my little red slippers here and call it all good. Wish I had little red slippers on. That would have been good if I had planned this out. But no, didn't plan it out. I'm going to make a little note on here. Anybody who's watching or catches this between now and the next couple hours, since Addison is on there, Addison and Bill and I are doing Free Spirit Talk later today. We're talking about inner child and how to really open up to that inner child. And it's going to be all, who knows, with me on board, it's always all over the place. But we're doing inner child work and talking about how to really tap in, love on, heal, play with, enjoy that inner child of each one of us. So I'm going to ask Addison if you would put a link on this video for anybody to the Free Spirit page. I would appreciate that. And that will be today at noon. We're going to be doing that talk. It'll be anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes long, depending on what happens there. And it'll be a Facebook Live on the link that she'll probably be popping up here in just a second. So hope to see you at that. If this particular little conscious coffee did anything for you, if it floated your boat at all, stimulated you in any way, please hit the little share button. Thank you, Addison, for doing that. If this talk stimulated you in any way, please go ahead and hit the little share button. Tag a friend. Give thanks for all the love. Thanks for the comments, guys, who made the comments today. And I will catch you guys tomorrow around 6 a.m.-ish. 6:10-ish in the morning after I wake my butt up a little bit, and we'll see what tomorrow has. Okay, so I love you. Bye.